Some of these things could possibly just be a lead up to, just getting rid of some of these, what we would consider to be legacy media, ways to get legacy media about the paint. If people remember when Donald Trump first came into office, he was kind of focusing more away from giving preferential treatment to legacy media when he would do like his like speaking to the media and stuff like that. Like from what I recall, and this is back in January, so it's been a couple months, but he wanted to give more priority and access to like the air quotes grassroots media or to these smaller media groups than to the legacy media. So some things that have been being discussed, sometimes things may happen and we don't kind of put things together. It's kind of like you got to kind of just take puzzle pieces and put them away and then put them on the board as it kind of makes more sense. So I agree with Seven Ford that, hey, this could be a way to kind of get some of these legacy media people out of the paint and kind of redirect people to the podcasters and things like that, that people that already have these big platforms or whatever.
Well, Seth Meyer, I don't like Seth Meyer. I think he's kind of like lame. He's real like lame, and I don't know how to categorize him. Like one of those college engineering white dudes. Hey, buddy, what's going on? But apparently Seth Meyer really likes his job, because the other day Seth Meyer said, quote, "We are horrified by this grotesque tragedy, and our condolences go out to the family and the loved ones. It should never be a matter of political ideology to mourn and to extend our fullest and deepest sympathy to all those who are suffering. Political violence is abhorrent and an anathema to the highest ideals of this country." I don't remember him ever talking like that before.
Well, what about when Hitler died? Would people get fired for saying yay?
Well, this is the issue, Wani. Like morality, we can argue morality all day, but we live in a nation of laws, and we're all bound to the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution says you can say whatever you want with few exceptions, and the exceptions are common sense. Don't threaten anybody. Don't make threats towards a political figure, and obscenity. From my read, don't go show porn on the sidewalk, although New Orleans avoids that one. Isn't that right, Dr. Ward?
Man, I don't know what you're talking about.
Dr. Ward, why are so many immigrants getting deported, which I love, from Louisiana? How did they get there? I don't understand how they got there like that.
Because we had this faggot governor named John Bell Edwards, who he got in office because the dickhead before him was this street shitter named, because he's of Indian descent, Bobby Jindal. He signed up to that Koch brothers agenda, and the Koch brothers agenda was cut all the social safety net funding. He gets in there, he fucks up Louisiana so bad that we just said, fuck it, we're going with the Democrat. And so we put a Democrat in there, and we're hoping, okay, look, man, just get us back to regular things. Say, hey, create and, bring, attract business, investment, and things like that. He doesn't really do that, and he just signs up to the Democratic agenda of open borders and shit like that, and he brings all these musty motherfuckers to my state. And so he pisses people off to the point where now we elected this coon ass who used to be a drug dealing cop.
God, who is running for office?
Mm-hmm.
It's just
like drug dealing cops. A guy in there now is Jeff Landry. He was a cop in a small town so small that I forget the name of it. But he rented a house, and his roommate was another cop. And his roommate, according to him in the court documents, was selling drugs. You gonna tell me you're in the same house, your roommate is selling drugs, and you don't know shit about it? Get the fuck out of here. He's selling drugs too. And so I think Landry, he gets wind of the walls closing in of the investigation. So he rats out his roommate, signs a warrant to raid the place. His partner gets arrested, goes to jail, and he resigns the force. They don't talk about that, but yeah, so he was drug. So yeah, it's Louisiana. What more you want me to say? I yield the mic.
I keep seeing the Louisiana ICE or some organization that's deporting people. I'm not 100% sure the name of it. They're getting these people up out of there, and they're all disgusting people. All kind of crimes.
Yeah. That's just the ones that get reported.
Right.
I don't know how Bobby Jindal got, I know this is off topic, but I've always wondered, how did he become governor? That never made any sense to me.
Well, before him, you had a good governor, Kathleen Blanco. She was actually trying to bring investment in business. She said, "Hey, I'm trying to alleviate poverty." Okay, I'm with that. And even though she was conservative, but I'm like, okay, business is business. You're getting it done. But Hurricane Katrina happens, and the Bush administration, had their hands up their ass about that, and so the shit came down on her, and she had to, give up the governorship. She didn't run again, and this was after Obama was elected. So the Koch brothers takes over the Republican Party, and the guy they got was Jindal. I yield the mic.
Wow. Louisiana. It's a different type of place. Go ahead, the prototype.
Hey, I'm from Louisiana too. How y'all doing, family?
Hey.
I was just gonna say, you have to understand Louisiana politics, and Doc will understand. Will tell you just as well as I would. If you are a good politician working for the people, they will either try their best to get you up out of the paint, or they will set you up and you are going to prison and do a long bid like when it was did. Because they will held that he...
Yeah, but he deserved to go to jail after his last administration. Like his early days, he was putting in work. But his last times, I'm like, man, you fucked up so bad, take your ass to jail.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he did that. Yeah, he deserved that. But see, with the Katrina stuff, what they did after that, folks won't talk about all of the immigrant gangs that came down there trying to take over everybody's shit when they came down there.
We killed them.
Oh, yeah. They was getting them up out of there. And they never did come back and fix anything. But the problem with Louisiana is the way that it's zoned. Like, a good chunk of the northern part of Louisiana around, like, the northeast part, like Tallulah and all that Delta soil land. I don't know how the hell it happens, but it's in the same zone with all of that money down there in the lower southeast. So all they do is finesse and get all of that money too. They have it zoned where there's nothing, and most of the people there, they live under the poverty line unless you're like a Long, a Landry, the Ewings, and a few other families. And I know because I used to work with a lot of them, and they do like Rodney Alexander. You're a Democrat, and then once you get elected, you switch to Republican. Stuff like that. It's always some dirty politics and stuff going on over there, and like closing schools and stuff like that, and having schools just now desegregated in 2017 and 2018, stuff like that. It's all dirty. I don't care what you do. It's just dirty, dirty, dirty. So I'm a yield.
Interesting. Well, back to the topic of Jimmy Kimmel getting fired. Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to hear me clearly. We are dealing with a long planned attack on the Constitution of the United States. It's at sequium, in sequence. I witnessed it start during September 11th with the Patriot Act being passed. In the name of terrorism, the government now had the right to just spy on people without a warrant. That was step one. Then under the Obama administration, Obama took out that. This happened under George W. Now, under Obama administration, next step was to give the federal troops the ability, give the military the ability to use their weaponry on American citizens with the Anwar al-Awlaki, I think that was his name, when Obama authorized the attack on this. Yeah, he was a criminal and a terrorist, but he had American citizenship. Obama conveniently wanted to use a drone to take him out. You mean to tell me Obama couldn't have got Wet Works to take him out? Wet Works is, like covert James Bond shit. I don't know if I should have said that on here, but I said it already. Obama could have had Wet Works take his ass out, but Obama wanted to make him a big spectacle and use a Predator 1 to take him out with a Hellfire missile. That set a precedent that overrode habeas corpus. Professor Chris Hedges challenged that shit in court and won in federal court. A federal judge said, "You're right. Obama didn't have the authority to take an American citizen out with a military hardware." And the brilliant lawyers took Chris Hedges down by saying he didn't have standing, which I don't think he did. I don't know. That's a touchy issue. But there goes habeas corpus. The next attack is freedom of speech. They've been trying to get freedom of speech with the internet. And if Kamala would have got in, she would have did it another way. But here goes the opportunity to chip away at freedom of speech. Now, what we need to watch for is these cases when these professors, these teachers, a whole bunch of teachers, and these they got a college student, I forgot the state, but they kicked a college student out for saying something about the shooting the other day. A friggin' college student. So when these go to court, if the judges rule that these institutions were well within their rights to fire and to dismiss these people for exercising their First Amendment right, however deplorable, that's going to set a precedent. And all it needs to do then is go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court affirm it. There goes freedom of speech, ladies and gentlemen. Our rights of privacy, freedom of speech, and safety from military attacks are deteriorating. If we're not careful, America's going to turn into fucking Squid Games.
So, Professor, if I could just tap in here, I will say this about some of the things that you mentioned. Like, some of the things is covered by legal statute. It is covered by law, but the everyday common U.S. citizen probably doesn't look at those laws or whatever the case may be. So I think that, and we talk about certain things being hidden in plain sight. Like, sometimes misinformation is given to people intentionally and people just don't ever go out and correct it. And the information, the accurate information is out there for people to see. They just know people, one, aren't going to look for it, or two, they don't know where to go find it. So, like, it's certain things that I believe is to throw people off so that something else can be done. Like, me personally, I just feel like a lot of things are distractions to throw people off from something else. Like, as we were, like, talking about other things, I saw a post where Donald Trump said that he is designating Antifa as a domestic terrorist group, or whatever the case may be. I have posted this on Twitter a couple of times, that I don't think people understand that there is a thin line between U.S. citizens believing that they have a First Amendment right to freedom of speech and that they can say anything on U.S. soil. This is not just U.S. citizens, but people on U.S. soil can say and do whatever they want to do under the guise of the First Amendment and freedom of speech. And if, in fact, the United States identifies a person as a terrorist, you relinquish your right to U.S. citizen protections, which is what happened with Anwar al-Awlaki. He relinquished his right to be protected as a U.S. citizen once he was deemed to be a terrorist. And so the same with Antifa. If there are people who are U.S. citizens who are aligned with a group, or it appears that you are engaging in some type of, you are relinquishing your protections as a U.S. person. And so it's like the law is, people are just not going to go look for that. They're not going to know where to go find it. But it's like, you can't go and say everything that you want to do or say. You want to sit and wave foreign flags. This country is moving in a direction where if you want to wave a foreign flag, you can do that. But if you are deemed to be a part of a group that threatens national security, if the United States wants to go up there and relinquish protections from you, they have every right to do that. And so I think there's a fine balance there. And me personally, because I care about national security and being protected in the homeland, because this is where I live, I care about being protected here. So yeah, I would definitely like them to relinquish protections of people who are a threat to the homeland. I'm going to say that and put my hand up every single time. Yes, you can go ahead and grab up all the people that threaten the homeland every single time, and foreign as well. If they are a threat to U.S. interests as a United States citizen, yeah, I want you to go ahead and get them people about the pain.
Well, and I agree with you. And
Black students, we need to know our history.
The black history we're being taught in public schools is repetitive.
As a black high school student, I want to learn more about my history in the school books.
We need to update our books.
As black American students, we deserve an accurate depiction of what history truly is.
I want to see myself in these textbooks.
In the public school system, black history is vague.
Why don't the school books ever talk about the Freedmen's Bureau?
I created the workbook for the African American family. This book helps fill in the gaps that the school books don't. Purchase the workbook for the African American family on OurStoryPublications.com and use the Cash App, $Our Story Publications.